You have found Vagina Whispering, where we talk about everything from vaginas and orgasms to femininity, connection and love, intimacy, pleasure, intuition, menopause, and so much more. This is a safe place to have real conversations and make real connections. We're going to have a great time. We're going to laugh a lot, and we are going to fall in love with ourselves again. A quick note before we begin, the information we present here is educational in nature and is not medical or psychological advice, nor is it a substitute for seeking licensed healthcare services. Okay, let's drop you into the conversation.
I'm listening to an erotica and I'm also reading erotica right now. I just needed something to spice me up again. That's all it was. I just needed a little bit of something to get into. And so I did that, and they're horribly written. I'm not sure if you ever read them. Horribly written. Oh my God. I am currently rereading 50 Shades of Grey, and there's a lot of domination. He's the dom and she's the sub. And so what that is and how they work through it in their relationship. But there are parts where that would be interesting to try. Do I want to get spanked? Oh, does that scare me? Yes. And I couldn't ever, choking. Okay, hold on. Having someone put a little constriction whom you trust on your throat, maybe. So I think these are all good things to start talking about. And who was our beautiful Whitney? Whitney talked about the go or no go sheet, right? Where, yes, I'm willing to try that. No, I don't want to try that. All this is about starting communication. For me, reading these books just helps me have more verbiage to talk, more communication to speak through. So
definitely. If you want to check out any of Whitney's stuff, her website and her Instagram is BDE, like Big Dick Energy .moves. She's a queer couples intimacy coach. I follow her. I watch her videos all the time, and she is really helpful. And she focuses on, and part of this is generating energy when maybe your libido is different, and that's her specialty.
I'm feeling at least motivated to maybe touch myself. And I thought to myself today, I'm going to ask Alex out on a date. And I did. I was like, do you want to go on a date with me next week? And he wrote back, let me think about it. And I thought, okay, these are little things I thought about putting on prettier underwear today. Is that because I've actually started putting intention into this again? Even just the concept of listening to an audiobook while I'm driving to school, not with Teal driving back from school. Oh yeah, you don't want to be listening to everyone will listen to these things when your kids or your parents are in the car. Yeah. Am I thinking more of it just because I'm actively, I don't know. I would say yes, I am.
What's drawing you in to do that now?
I just got fed up with not wanting my partner to touch me. And not wanting that connection. I got bored and I got complacent. Very easy, especially for anyone who's listening that has children. It's so easy to get complacent. I read something the other day where the reason older people feel like the days are flying by, we always say, oh, when I was a kid, time felt like it was so much slower. And now as you get older, it's like faster and faster. And I read an article that said one of the reasons is because our days are more monotonous and regular. So Monday looks very much like a Tuesday. Tuesday looks very much like Wednesday. Instead of having new experiences, our brain is chunking time together. So it's, oh, that was the morning, gone. Oh, that was the afternoon, gone. And the evening, done. Let's go back and hit repeat. Monday, or now we're going to do Tuesday. Here's morning, gone. Here. And what we used to do as children and teenagers is you would fill your days with a lot of variety. New things, new relationships, new friendships, a new boyfriend, a new girlfriend, a new sporting activity, like a new school year. I'm going to this dance. Think about everything that you did in high school or where there was something new all the time. A new test, a pop quiz, a new coach coming into your squad. We don't have that as we get older. We get very monotonous in our days. Thank goodness I have Teal because there are some new things happening, but as you grow out of parenthood and get older, it can be lovely and comfortable. I love coming in here and having my work done, but we have to create more variety in our life to have our days feel more meaningful. And so that we don't look back and go, whoa, I missed that whole year. That's one of the reasons why I think I got pulled into trying something new. I just get back into it. Try something new, Jen. Read something totally different. I mean, maybe that's it. It doesn't even have to be erotica. Like for me, I'm not really comfortable watching porn. I don't know about you, and I'm not judging. I've watched porn once when I was in high school, and I accidentally walked in on a party and they had porn on. I think that's the extent of my pornography. Oh my God, what are they doing to that woman? Right? It was very abusive to the woman. It was very, but this was in the 1990s. So I'm imagining in 35 years, pornography has changed quite a bit. I don't know. I think that's why I'm saying let's have this conversation about it. Anything that we can do to spice up our life. I was talking to a friend earlier and she was reading this book and they had anal plugs. These are all things to start talking about. She said, I felt so uncomfortable reading it. She's like, I couldn't even fathom it, even though I knew it was fantasy. They were role playing that they were horses and they were butt plugs with horse tails. I felt myself close up as I was like, I'm fine with a butt plug, maybe. I've never tried it. But do we pretend like role playing? I had said, do you ever do role playing? Just no. I'm like, I don't either. I feel silly. But then she said, isn't that a sign of playfulness in your relationship? You can try it and be like, okay, that felt stupid. Let's not do that again. But at least you tried it. I'm like, I haven't tried it. So maybe I'm not going to dress up like a cheerleader.
Or a schoolgirl.
I could dress up like a witch. Now that would be fine. Or a cat. You know, maybe we have to think differently about role playing. Maybe I'm a feisty cat with these braces. I got my lower ones on. They're horrible. Been drinking smoothies. And I'm off the alcohol. Good God, why did I do this to myself this month?
Why aren't you having alcohol?
No. It was two independent things that collided in the same month. Horrible. I made a stupid agreement with my friend.
Alcohol would have made your smoothies way better.
And just even like trying to eat something at night, numb the pain a little bit with a glass of wine, then have your dinner. Anyways, so that's why I think we should talk about, and even saying the word porn, whoa, I don't even that word saying it. It says a lot about me.
I want to go back to some of the things you mentioned. I've been not doing it for the last couple of weeks, but there was a couple of weeks where I was also touching myself more. My vagina signals me. Part of my journey has been to get more connected to my body and my vagina specifically. When I was younger, I used her to help me fall asleep all the time.
I use her every now and then to get myself to sleep as well. I don't think that's bad. Okay, but it was maybe more than every now and then.
For me, I think I violated my vagina in a lot of ways. And so for me, when I look back, I'm like, oh, I really, anyway, that's not for anybody else, but that's for me. I started also feeling like an openness from her almost every night for a while. And I was like, seriously, lady? But she was into it. And unless I was super tired, I was into it too. It was phenomenal. It started with Grant and I were not having intercourse because I don't think my body is ready for that quite yet. But we started having a little more intimacy. And he gave me, I think, the biggest orgasm of my life. That's what I was going to share with you last time. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. My body responded so well. And I just felt it so deep. I don't remember why we didn't have intercourse, but I wanted to. And I could feel the longing. That was so new for me. It was amazing. We didn't do that, but I felt it. Wow.
Okay, so hold on, let's back up. This is important. So you started touching yourself more because your vagina was talking to you and saying yes. And then this led to you being more open with Grant?
I think I could be wrong, but it seems like the more active we are, it begets more of that kind of energy in that area.
So anyone who's listening that literally has not touched themselves in 5 years, or maybe perhaps ever, it's time. The dormant person will keep sleeping. It's so easy to think about it. You're not exercising your vagina. You gotta wake her up. You gotta love her a little bit. You don't have to be with a partner. I almost pulled out my big old dildo vibrator the other day. I was so excited. I was like, let's see what happens. I'm like, whoa, hold on.
I don't even have one of those. That was part of what was starting things. And then doing that with Grant, I just felt so much more comfortable and relaxed. And I think that's why I've only ever had orgasms with him. I never had it with any other partner. It moved me. Like I didn't cry, but damn, it was like, I was joking. Let me take a picture of your right hand, put it on my wall. It was amazing.
It was that
Oh,
profound. Oh, I'm so glad.
absolutely.
And did you make noise?
I'm sure I did. I was so swept up.
Ah, like out of body-ish?
Really connected to my body-ish. It was amazing. And I'm trying to learn from him because he relates to sex like life force energy comes out of him or into him when he is physically sexual with somebody. I never thought of it that way. All these little things are trying to converge in my mind to help me. The word coming to me is re-stimulate that part of my life because I'm with you about not having an active sex life with a partner, especially somebody who wants to have sex. You feel the deadness of that area. And it's been a couple years where it just didn't feel right to do that. It feels really different. I feel more in love with him in a different kind of way, like deeper. When I was touching myself, if I fantasize, I make it about him because I really want to generate longing for him. So whether I was visualizing us actually having sex or just anything that he could do that would make me feel good, he's very good at that. I'm with you on the monotony of things. Each year is a smaller percentage of your life, so it makes sense that it feels like it goes by quicker. I feel like I live Groundhog Day. I'm trying to break it up now, and I'm aware of needing to do that. We need variety. I grew up on the East Coast. There are seasons. In winter, you do certain things. In autumn, you do certain things. It really does break it up. But here, it's a little bit different. Also, I'm in my house 98% of the time.
Even just picking a new restaurant once every 2 weeks. And put it in the calendar. This week, we're trying a new Indian restaurant. This week, and if you can't afford that, then pull a recipe that's new. Like I started doing that as well. Pulling a New York Times recipe. I'm just going to try it. Pulling out the cookbook. I actually pulled out all my recipes the other day. Something as simple as that can add a little variety, right? Like light a candle.
Or even changing how you relate to your appearance, dressing up more. I picked Grant up from the airport and I noticed before I left, I put some lipstick on, I fixed my hair, which is not easy when you've got curly hair, but I wanted to look pretty for him. And I never think about that.
Yeah, I think we're missing this whole picture. You started listening to your vagina more, you started touching yourself more, you started working with her, not using her, you start caring about your appearance more, you start wanting to look good for him. All of this stuff is intertwined. Yeah. And some of it can be premeditated. There's nothing wrong with saying, I am going to start caring for myself more so that I start looking a little bit sexier for my husband, my wife, or my partner. I am going to start putting on lingerie just in case he sees me taking off my clothes today. You can premeditate this.
Love that.
And then see what happens. It might not be for 2 weeks. You might not get a look of undressing in front of him for 2 weeks. Whatever. Keep doing it.
Part of what we're talking about is generating change or being open to the energy of change, and we're responding to it. Or calling it in, not being complacent. It's easy to be complacent. And then when you wake up out of that, what the hell am I doing? How long has it been?
2 years of my life.
Yeah, I find it very easy to be really impatient with myself. The truth is that these kinds of things, like everything, takes time and an investment and intentionality and being gentle and not rushing. Lots and lots of communication, even with ourselves, not even just with our partners.
And the self-talk that we have with ourselves, so important about this concept. Hearing myself say, really, what's the point? You don't have to put on matching underwear. I spent like a good 30 seconds trying to find a pair of black underwear that matched my bra. And the self-talk in me was like, really, you gotta take your hands off in front of it, whatever. And then the other part was like, maybe you are, and maybe you should. Maybe you should say it. You want to have a little sex later. And just play with it. Yeah. But I think it's monitoring that communication that you're having with yourself. Monitoring that is so easy to talk yourself down because of the doubt and the struggle with self-confidence. This is exactly the conversation that I had with myself this morning. You're not fitting into these jeans like you used to. So why would you think that it's okay to put on a pair of black panties? You're not feeling sexy. So why would you put that on? You're squeezing yourself into these jeans because perimenopause is real and she's adding a little bit more weight to me. My little self is saying, okay, first of all, he doesn't care that you're squeezing yourself into jeans. And if you're that self-conscious about it, take your jeans off so there's not the mark of the jeans. Like right now, I go to the bathroom, I'm like, look at that, there's my button. We all know it. I know I'm totally randomly vomiting right now. I had to stay strong to the other part of me that was like, no, this is important. To stay strong to your commitments. That was my intention this morning. Because I'm off the wine as well. It's been really tricky. My intention is stay true to my commitments.
Oh, I love that. And part of your commitment is to have a vibrant relationship with yourself and your partner and changing up the energy of things. I love that idea of, hey, wait a minute. Let me wear like cute. I have some underwear that are like old and they get a little bit holy. I was like, this just makes me feel, ugh. I threw them away. It's like a little thing, but that doesn't add to me feeling good. We don't want to like reinforce that. Life is freaking long. You've been with Alex for 26 years. I've been with Grant for 21 years. That is a long time to do any one thing. I want to stay
any one person.
Yeah, any one person. I want to stay interested. I want to keep him interested. Some of that's his job.
Yes.
But generating this within myself to be the partner that he deserves, because he does deserve that. And I deserve to be happy too, of course.
I know pride is a tricky word, but to have pride in the partner that I want to be, I want to feel like I'm a good partner. And I haven't felt that way recently. I've been really on edge. I've been doing better since my huge epiphany of what really matters. I want to have pride in my body and partnership that we have. I want to have pride in the communication, how we solve problems, and how we fulfill each other's sexual desires. I want to feel good about that.
Oh, absolutely. I feel the same way. Grant, I was just acknowledging him yesterday. It just felt really right to talk about it. And I was like, I don't even know how to express this to you, but I feel like the way you love me is unlike anything I've experienced in this lifetime. And I really feel that. I haven't had a quote, a real job in 10 years. And he could have said, look, sister, I can't manage this burden by myself. I don't care what work you end up doing, but you have to do something. But instead, he has really supported me to focus on my business, which I really love. It gives me this sense of freedom and fulfillment. I want to feel like I am contributing what I can to him that kind of balances things out with what he offers to me. And recently, I had to go off early. The pill that I've been taking that is meant to reduce the risk of a breast cancer recurrence. It's been a pill I've been on for 9.5 years. It blocks some of your hormones from either being absorbed or produced. I had a medical complication come up related to that, and they're like, stop taking that and we'll do some tests. So I'm just going off of it a few months early. It's a big change in hormones. You were talking about being edgy. Oh man, I could not contain my irritation. I have to start exercising more and more self-care because even I could barely tolerate being in my skin. It was very annoying. So
that's I think that's really the perimenopause issue is I don't even like who I am. I was like, who is this person that I almost like step out and see myself yelling or being irritated or slamming a door. Who is this person? I don't even like that person. Who would want to live with that? I'm in here and I like myself and I don't like that person. Okay, let's go back to this orgasm note because was this pre or post going off the med?
Oh, you know what? I won't know exactly. It might have been before. I'm not sure. I'm trying to look at what has generated like my vagina being like, hey, what you doing? I think that happened before I went off the pill, which is more encouraging. I don't know yet what changes will happen being off of this because I was getting my period before I ever started taking this pill. It's been 10 years. I don't know how things are going to bounce back or be new. I don't know.
Start flowing again. God, wouldn't that suck?
That would be very shocking if it did.
Yeah, that'd be a miracle.
About getting my period again. And I want to make a joke about getting pregnant at 57, but no, I can't imagine that would happen after all this time.
No.
But it did stop my period, which was like a bonus.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh, I really love this conversation. And
I know.
Yeah. And look, I haven't tried when I was younger. I don't know, in my 20s, I had some book of these little kind of erotic stories, and there was one with the gorilla that was my favorite, and I used to use it all the time.
Like literally having sex with a gorilla? We're not judging. This is
No,
fantasy.
I know you're not. Keep this in mind. I'm a bit older than you. And I remember when I was like a young adult, and there were a lot of commercials on TV, which is part of how we get socialized, about douching and
Oh,
how your vagina
yes.
must be stinky if you have
And
to
it's
do
dirty.
dirty. It's kind of gross. My first
Mhm.
boyfriend, I was just remembering this a couple of days ago. I used to douche every time I was going to see him because once we started having sex,
Sure.
and he would give me oral sex, and I guess it was pretty pleasant. And there was like one time when I didn't, and maybe I didn't shower right. I remember him being, "What is that?" It was devastating.
Oh
So
my
the
God,
idea,
yeah.
yeah, so the idea of somebody wanting to have their face in my vagina was like a big deal because then it means I'm not stinky or gross. This gorilla,
Oh, the gorilla goes down on you.
he was like sniffing. It's
Mm.
like, "Hey, what is this?"
I think that's lovely. It's definitely
It
opening
worked.
up some new doors. That I cannot believe you survived that. I can't imagine. I'm so sensitive about how I smell anyway, but then to have an individual literally say to me, what is that smell? It couldn't have been that bad. By the way, do
Oh,
you hear this lisp?
sorry.
It's horrible.
He didn't say what is that smell, but I think my vagina
Oh,
just tasted very different. Maybe it was
different.
musky, as vaginas are. We were early 20s and it was a very different experience. Had the first time he gone down on me, it was musky and normal. It might have been like, oh,
Right.
this is just what it is. But because it was so different.
Douching is so bad. I'm not a medical
Oof.
professional, but it creates so much opportunity for infection. I would just not recommend douching at all.
And we're not, I don't watch regular TV with commercial ads.
Yeah, I think they even talk about it.
I think that ended a long time ago. But that was always like a thing for me, is like being gross to somebody. That's why the
Well,
gorilla was.
yeah, the grill like that. I think it's okay to talk about all these things, and we need to. We need to talk about gorillas going down on us.
Talking about those insecurities and where
No,
that came
that
from.
is
Because,
true.
and I haven't douched in decades
Mm.
because I did know, but I remember a woman that I worked with who was just a couple years older than me, but I loved like a sister. And so she would talk about that. That was probably what got me on to thinking douching was a good idea. She did it a lot.
Have commercials about it all the time. It was what you were supposed to do.
But that's what we're talking about. And there are many things I love about you, Jen. And I love that you're bringing this up because part of what you're saying is, look, I'm acknowledging that
Mm.
my libido is low and I don't want to just live there and be complacent. This is just perimenopause, and screw you, Peri, but this is where we're at.
Okay,
Yeah.
just write it off. Not
Yeah.
coming back. No, I'm not willing to go there.
No, and our vaginas do atrophy. There are muscles down there. We need to stretch stuff. And I've been trying to remember to do more Kegels when I'm walking and squeezing as well as releasing. Because I do remember that from our vagina whisperer friend, Sarah. She shared so much useful stuff. And the Kegel thing, like I wouldn't have realized about the relaxing. That came up when I did the pelvic floor therapy. She was like, now release. And I was like, oh, I'm not released. So I'm
Mhm.
remembering to do that more because I do want to feel more in control and connected with my vagina. So
Yeah.
I think we're on a great trajectory. And if you are joining us in this challenge, let's say, to see what spices things up for you or share what does spice things up for you, please email us and we'll share about it in our next episode about this when we follow up. We would be so excited to do this together as a group.
I'm sure there's so much stuff that we don't know about. Feel free to send in anything at it's VaginaWhispering@gmail.com. And don't go to our Instagram because it sucks.
Email us at our Gmail account, and we would really love to hear from you, even if you're like, I don't know if this would help anybody, but please share. Speaking of butt plugs, we'll talk.
Maybe I'll try one.
You're going to have to report in if you do. We had somebody we were working with about sexuality, and he mentioned about a butt plug with a little foxtail. And then we just couldn't stop visualizing him with the butt plug and the foxtail.
I
You know
don't
what?
like the tail concept.
It sounds cute, honestly, but I don't think
Really?
cute is what you're going for when you're doing that kind of thing.
Yeah. And anal beads, I'm not willing to go there, I don't think. All right, we're going to talk later.
Let's be open. We don't know yet until we've tried it what's actually going to help us and make a difference. So let's be open, all of us.
Are you gonna go try?
The butt plug thing?
Yeah. Or anal beads?
I'm not feeling drawn to that. I want to start with the erotica. and
Okay,
then
let's start.
see what I'm going to be open to. But I also want
Baby
to
steps.
baby steps, please, Jen. She's plugging my butt, Gran. I don't know what to do. Baby steps.
All right. Baby steps.
This is exciting. Look, all of us want to keep our lives feeling alive,
Yeah.
as well as our vaginas, our bodies, our connection to life force energy, how that comes through you.
Love it.
Cool.
I love you. Have a wonderful day.
And we love all of you. Thank you for being here with us. Reach out. We really would love to hear from you. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. To access the interview on video, visit our Vagina Whispering channel on YouTube. If you have a topic you'd like to learn about, or if you have a specialist you'd like us to interview, please email us at vaginawhispering@gmail.com. And on a final note, while Noelle Dean is a licensed marriage and family therapist in the state of California, she does not provide any psychotherapy or other licensed healthcare services as the host. Any action you take based on the information contained herein is strictly at your own risk. Please refer to the podcast disclaimer in the show notes for further information.